This morning, many around the country and world are reacting to recent statements from President Trump about the future of the Middle East.
Now, he met with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington yesterday, and that's where President Trump said the U.S. will, quote, take over the Gaza Strip amid the ongoing conflict in the region. CBS News' Naomi Ruckham live in New York this morning with a closer look at what the president said and the reaction from leaders across the world. Naomi.
Heather and AJ, good morning. In a word, the reaction is shock. And there are a lot of questions about how this could possibly even work, given the complexities of the region. The prospect of resettling about 2 million Palestinians from Gaza could violate international law, and that's if neighboring Arab nations would even take them in. Still, like the other stunning announcements we've heard from the president over the last few weeks, he seems set on moving forward. Following the first meeting of his second term with a foreign leader, President Donald Trump proposed an all-out power grab of the Gaza Strip.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too.
The stunning statement came during a press conference following President Trump's meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who said the idea should be considered and praised the president for his work on the recent hostage deal.
Your leadership to help bring our hostages home, among them American citizens. You freed up munitions that have been withheld from Israel.
Short on specifics, President Trump added that the Palestinians in Gaza should resettle elsewhere during the takeover.
We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site, and get rid of the destroyed buildings.
The announcement was met with shock around the world. Leaders of several of the most powerful Arab nations have previously said that they strongly oppose any suggestion that residents of Gaza be resettled in other nations. Other experts say the proposal is unrealistic.
It's not a plan that has any connection to reality in today's Middle East.
The meeting comes as Israel and Hamas begin talks on the second phase of a peace deal, which would free all remaining hostages and end the war. On whether U.S. troops would be sent into Gaza as part of this plan, the president said he would send in American forces if necessary. When asked who would eventually live in Gaza once it's rebuilt, President Trump said it would be home to mostly Palestinians, but said it should be an international place. Heather and AJ?
Like you said, shocking announcement. Naomi Ruckham live from New York. Naomi, thank you.